very honored and excited to kick off the Lengua Conference in 2025. It's not an easy thing to open this space, and this is a unique space where creativity, tech, gastronomy can intersect. And we truly believe that this intersection can change the future of food. So thank you for having us here to tell our story and the story of NotCo and how we start making food as a very, very different way with a very unusual ingredient that is artificial intelligence. So we're not just a food company, we're not just a food tech. And Bites of Creativity reflects our mission. Imagine turning data into solutions, or algorithm into flavor, and science into new experiences in product development. And even if you are not in tech, or you are not tech experts, this presentation is also for you. Because we all eat, no? And we all wonder once, how will food look like in the future? So my name is Paula Pesse, and I'm the Culinary Director at NotCo. I joined the company 7 years ago, when I was 25 years old. And back then, combining gastronomy and AI felt very, very radical, something very, very new. And I stepped away and I moved from traditional kitchen to explore something completely new for me. And at this moment, since that moment, we have been open, and I'm very grateful, and with the team of chefs, we open now 5 experimental kitchens across Latin America and in the US. And these are the spaces that we grown as chefs and pioneers of doing this new type of food and mixing these disciplines between chefs, scientists, and AI engineers. So after some years in San Francisco based and opening that office over there, now I'm back in Chile, the place where I'm originally from.
Hey everyone, and I'm Bernardo Moltedo, Culinary Scientist at NotCo. I've been in NotCo for 5 years now, and also same as Paula and the chefs, my background is in the kitchen, but I always find this intersection of science and culinary, so that's why I joined NotCo. And the past 3 years I've been in San Francisco, where is the innovation hub. So mostly our work over there is working on B2B projects and research with fermentation and innovative projects.
So it's actually very difficult for us in just 20 minutes trying to fit all that we would love to share. But we will go through NotCo's journey, how we start, how we will go dive into Giuseppe, our AI platform, and not just showing how it is, but also how it works and how we use it in the kitchen. And we will go through some innovations and creations that we think that are beyond just products that you can find in the supermarket, and how this, for us, is reshaping the future of food. And also, after this presentation, we will jump into a panel discussion where we will end with a very special collaboration that makes AI, sustainability, and tradition in one single plate. So I hope that this presentation inspires you as the same that inspired us in the moment that we joined NotCo. So 9 years ago, NotCo was born in Chile, a Chilean startup. And we have one bold mission, that it wasn't easy. Reinvent the food industry, change the way that we were making food. And everyone now is talking about AI, no? Everyone now uses it. But imagine 10 years ago, we were like Martians, that we were talking about large language models and Gen AI before this was cool. And we took the risk. We took the chance because we knew that creating this AI can actually change the food industry and change and solve the problems that we have, make it more sustainable, make it better for the people, make it agile, simpler, and also cheaper. And we have been back for world-class investors like Jeff Bezos, and we are a 1.5 billion company today, and I can't believe in the moment that I say this to you. Now a very consolidated food tech company. We operate from 4 different offices, but our main hubs are in Santiago de Chile and in San Francisco. So a little bit of the journey, we start in 2016 with one unit of the business that it was food, because no one understood us. As I was saying before, no one was talking about AI. So we had chefs, scientists, and AI engineers, and we were trying to build something new, and we wanted to be an R&D powerhouse for the industry, but no one got it. So we create our own route and our own way to show this and validate how our AI can traduce into something tangible that you can eat. So that's when we start creating our products, that it was not mayo, not milk, not burger, not ice cream. I don't know if you have tried before, but all of these products, they are 100% plant-based, but they have the same soul of the original ones. We were using our AI to replace and mimic the texture, the flavor, the aroma of the products that we love to eat, but in the plant-based version. So we became a brand in that moment, and everyone was knowing about these products, but our pure roots were always in tech. So in that moment, we started in Chile, then we jumped to Argentina, to Brazil, to Mexico, to Canada, to the US. It was very tiring. It was like very, very speed up for just a few years. And in that moment, we understand that we needed to expand more our AI capabilities and jump more and go beyond more the animal replacement. So in that moment, we start entering to new categories like snacking or protein texture, and we start solving deeper problems like sugar spike from our products or performance nutrition. So after that, it's when we jump, creating a joint venture between Kraft Heinz and NotCo. It was very special for us because one of the top 5 food companies in the world, believe in us and ask us to not their products. So we started doing mac and cheese, not singles, not Kraft Heinz mayo. And what happens is that we start having a massive interest of the rest of the industry in Giuseppe, in our tech. So in that moment, we start jumping to a new unit of business, the B2B. So these companies want solving these type of problems. And it was more than just plant-based replacement and more than just functionality. And we start going deeper and deeper and deeper, like solving things like replacing cocoa in the chocolate that you have been always eating, and eating a chocolate bar that it doesn't have 0% of cacao, but having the same texture, the same flavor. Or also replacing egg in the cake that you have been always eating and have the same sponginess and experiences without using the egg. So in that moment, we became 2 companies in one. And we were now one consumer brand in supermarkets worldwide, and then a tech powerhouse solving deep problems in the industry, like supply chains, regulation, costs, and all of these problems were problems that we had as a company. So we shouldn't be only just solving for us. We need to share this AI to other companies. And in that moment is when we decided to open all of this because now companies as Kraft Heinz and more interest want our tech inside their companies. So now it's more than just an AI. For us, it's now like a technology layer that you have for the food industry. So as chefs, we bring intuition, sensibility, food pairing, and all of these learnings and all of this knowledge is inside and lives in Giuseppe, our algorithm. And you can ask, like, how it looks, Giuseppe, what it is, Giuseppe. And it's the heart of everything what we do at NotCo. The name is Giuseppe Artimboldo because of this Italian artist that portrays fruits and veggies. And you can imagine why that is inspired us. And it's not that it was a button and you press it and you have the result. It took years and years and years of iteration. And we were struggling and looking failure every time. An AI is like a kid, you need to teach. So imagine Giuseppe of 1 year compared to now Giuseppe of 9 years. It's totally different the result. So today, now is the most powerful tool that can expand our creativity and also speed our times in product development. And this Giuseppe is not a machine that is cooking. We are cooking. And it's a tool that thinks with us, that challenges us, and there is a partner that evolves with us. If we get better, our data get better, Giuseppe get better. So now Benio will explain a little bit more what is inside of the algorithm.
Right, so here we have like the core modules that we have inside Giuseppe. And this probably in a practical way is whenever you go to the kitchen and you will start your product, in this case like a cake or something, we use kind of like a similar things, but in product development. So for Giuseppe, it's not just pressing a button and you will have the final product. You actually need to go in the different stages of product development to go into specific needs for that moment. So the first one is concept quant, and this is like creative, disruptive innovation, really fast, agile, but also working in multidisciplinary team. So the one who is really in charge of that part is obviously marketing. So marketing, the chefs, food science, R&D, help teams to develop like a creative solution, but also like de-risk the product. And why de-risking the product is because you want, before you're trying to launch something in the market, you need to test it. And we use it through sensory and consumers data to bring these pain points of the industry. I will go a little bit in deep with this, but it's just to separate like concept quant versus like creative solutions. Whenever you have a concept, you move into Formula OS. And what is Formula OS is, imagine that you have all your project brief and you have your probably like recipe, and you need to organize a lot of your stuff, a lot of the ingredients pantry. So this is more to organize the project before doing the scale-up production. So mostly it's like organizing ideas, having the consumer data, the ingredients, and then from that you move forward. When you move forward, you will probably find that you have 1,000 of ingredients that you were trying to think it will help you for the product development, but we use synthesis. So synthesis is mostly like our optimizer. So imagine you have like Oriole hypothesis space of your project, and all those 1,000 of ingredients, it optimizes it. And instead of doing 150 trials, you do it in probably 10, 15 if you set the right objectives and restrictions for that product itself. So chefs as key architects from Giuseppe platform. First of all, like, what is a chef doing in a food tech? It's kind of funny, you know. It's not that just we're tasting and we're cooking the ingredients that the products that they give us. We're also like working really, really close with machine learning. We're not making codes, but we're working with them on the day-by-day inside the kitchen to develop that part of Giuseppe that is crucial of the different modules. So you really need to train and learn, and as Paula was explaining, 9 years is taking a lot of learnings, a lot of commitment, and a lot of back and forth with each of the teams. So the chefs drive in a part of into the product development. So imagine that you're a chef and you go to the kitchen or you go to the lab. We start with the first part. Um, so in the first part, we actually refining AI insights for Giuseppe. And what is this? It's mostly like we work inside the kitchen day by day on a product for or B2B or research or whatever we are working in that moment. And we're working with the machine learning team to refine those modules to be faster, agile, and actually communicate better what are we feeling as chefs, and also like food science, to make this more sellable for the future. Then we move into enhanced flavor, texture, and functionality of a product. So if we go to a case of the cheese, and probably like years ago we were trying to make like a plant-based cheese, and we know that that involves like a complete different experience, and we know how people feel about like the stretchability or the cooking. Everything that we put in is in this part of the process. So mostly like we give the sensory, we give the functionality, does it stretch well, you need to give the feedback, it doesn't work, you go back. And so it's like a constant back and forward. We were taking probably like 8 months to develop this. Now we do it like in 1 or 2 because we learn and we go faster in each of the steps. And then in the innovation, like starts in the kitchen. And also from that part is we're not just going into trying to launch a product for B2B or for the market. We actually want to build something different that is not in the table yet. A lot of them actually involves of the sustainability issues that we have been doing we haven't seen in the industry, and also like creative innovation of something that is tangible, something that is in the product, and mostly then the chef puts you that part, kind of like the soul of a product, and makes you feel about sustainability issues, and we are attacking that through research and in the part of innovation as well. So we were talking about concept one, a lot of the part of marketing. This is actually how it looks. So if you see there, we actually go from a concept. But first of all, you need to give like a good prompt. Same as ChatGPT, if you have a good prompt, you're gonna have like a good result. So it's similar to this. The interesting part and actually fun, imagine like for us, it's like having this like, you give a new toy to a kid and they give you like a lot of information just rather than a picture. So if it will give you like the project brief, it will explain you like what is like the key needs that we are going. In this case, we were imagine like a sustainable innovation for confectionery. So this is we'll recommend use like a cocoa-free brownie. That you know that cocoa is like really is going up in prices the past year. So it will give you like that recommendation, but also give you the negative characteristic of a project, of that product that we have from the competitors. So after that, the fun part is like you have all that information and you go to Formula OS. That was like our pantry where we organize sort of our projects. Interesting thing here is that we have all of our ingredients, so we have our ingredient pantry that is in-house. So in each of the countries, we have our ingredients that have specific codes, and that codes, it will give you like a recommendation of an actual ingredient that exists in San Francisco or Chile. And if you don't find it in San Francisco, you talk with the people in Chile, so you have a better communication, and everything that is connected, it goes through the Giuseppe platforms. So whenever you have like the ingredients and you need to find like a core formulation, you ask the bytes, it will recommend you like the formulations, and you choose which of the ingredients you're looking for. So in this case, like replacing cocoa alkaline is kind of hard, and you're only gonna use it for 1 or 2 ingredients. You need a bunch of ingredients to actually develop and test before going into the actual formulation. So from that, you have that part of you need to speed product development. We're probably not the experts doing this, and probably working with sustainability, not really, but also like help us a lot into speed, like the learnings and the research. So also having all the context that you're giving from ingredients, from formulation, it will give you like also scientific papers. And if you go to the scientific papers, it will give you like a better learning or understanding of what process I'm using, what is this ingredient actually going to work in the formulation, and other type of keys that you need to develop before going into the actual formulation. So going from an actual product or sustainability issues going into a culinary innovation, we found that we have working on more like futuristic or fun actual projects that actually exist. And we're going to start with the first one, that is a seaweed wine. So in Chile, we have, Chile is like really thin, but they have this beautiful cold water that have like this Chilean endemic seaweeds. We didn't use it much. We actually use it, but we never thought that we were going to use it in distill because of the flavor. But through different process and use it sustainable ingredients, we actually developed like a seaweed wine. So that is like an actual picture. So we actually we do like an end-to-end project, wherever we work from scratch, from the actual concept to test the different ingredients to the final product. Even that is not going to be launched, at least you give a message and you test with consumers. Then it's cocoa-free chocolate bar. So different of the brownie, here in the cocoa-free, we actually working on fermentation. So in fermentation, you need to work with a lot of different parameters from time, humidity. You need to control the cereals. So we were working in 1,000 of cereals tested in different type of fermentation, roastings, and we get into like a bar that it was coming from a lot of the fermented cereals. Then we have the umami booster. A good thing, the umami booster, we have it today, so probably you will try it after. But important thing here is not only one umami booster, we actually build a library of boosters that it will help you to go into the different projects that you have, or in the kitchen that you imagine that I really like this one, that I will apply it into my ramen soup, or I will put it in my veggies, or I will put it in sweet. So we have for different application, and that is like the really fun part of building things that it will go into specific profiles for needs. And then it's the nut coffee. So similar approach of what you have with the cacao free. In this case, it's using like a cereal-based fermentation. So for those cereal-based fermentation, you need to have like a different approach. So it's not going in the same profile, but you have all your hypothesis space of the formulation coming from the cocoa. You can translate it in the learnings, and you put it in the coffee. So in this case, we made a cold brew that was the base of those ingredients of the cereals.
So those were some of the projects that we as chefs are working internally. But we wanted to share you one of the last initiatives that we work as a company that is not branded. For the B2B business unit, it's like our playground for opportunities and show the agile innovation that we can do with AI. So as Bernardo was showing before, the module called Consequence, from that platform, we identify wide spaces on opportunity to share with new products that we formulate and they are ready for other companies to actually add their logo and start selling them. So we were on the Future Tech 2 weeks ago in San Francisco showing at this, and we wanted to quick pass through the concepts and share with you. Like this one, pet-friendly snack. And it comes for a very simple insight. Pets are family for us, and we want to be closer to them. So why not creating a snack that is tasty and nice for us that we can share with our pets? So Consequent identified this product as a product with not competitors. There's no one that is doing something like this, and it's actually very simple if you think about it. Or no pea lollipop. What about if you go to the festival, you go to your favorite concert, and the bathrooms are empty? And not because we're adding something in the formulation that will make you bad in other sense. It's because we will stay you hydrated with the lollipop. Or stay away popcorn, because we know that sometimes we fall asleep halfway a movie, or we never get onto the closing credits. And finally, I would say this point of view is approaching with AI, solving with products real problems that we have in our daily basis. And so we're just two chefs, and we have behind a very amazing team of culinary that they want to be present today too. So they prepare some samples for you to try. And as Bernardo was talking before, we have the umami booster that we are calling to this. And this was one project that actually an intern from the Basque Culinary Center in San Sebastian try to expand the capabilities of our AI and take a look of how we can get from natural ingredients, 100% plant-based, a chicken flavor. Something that can go inside of our not chicken burger and improve and enhance that flavor. And also we have the cocoa-free brownie that Bernardo told before too, to you to try it. So feel free to grab and go all the samples after we end this presentation. And taste, question, imagine, and talk to us about the feedback and what do you think about this. We would love to keep the conversation going. We will be here these next 2 days if you have more doubts, more questions, and you want to more know about NotCo in general. And I will just keep this open question, and I think that in the panel we can discuss a little bit more. But if we have an amazing AI that has no limits and that can do more and more and more, and we can use it for the best side, what if AI could help preserve what we are losing in the world? And so now we found fair, as Giuseppe, to end with the final words. So feel free to stay reading, and thank you very much for listening to us today.